Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Jermall and Jemell Charlo brothers. Now, when you look at these particular Charlo brothers, you break down their fights, you break down their level of competition, and you look at them and you say that these two guys need new trainers. I got this question from a subscriber, and they were just asking me a lot of questions about what the Charlos can do to get better and how they need to get better, and can they compete with the top levels of opposition at 154 and 160. Considering their last showcase fights were unimpressive. So let's start with Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo fought Matt Korobov, who did, in many viewers' eyes, felt like he lost that fight to Matt Korobov. And, it went the distance. And, before that fight, a lot of people were saying Jermall Charlo was being avoided by Canelo and the top fighters at 160, when the reality was Jermall Charlo had never been tested at that level. Jermall Charlo has never been to that level. And, his trainer in Derek James is just not ready. I'm sorry, not Derek James. Ronnie Shields is just not the type of trainer that can push him to the next level. See, when you look at a Ronnie Shields, he also trains Erislandy Lara, and although he trains Erislandy Lara, you have to look at it honestly and unbiasedly. Is that watching Lara's most recent performance against Brian Castano, he was just hitting him with the same 1-2, very predictable, very lethargic type of fight, not really defensively responsible as he could be, just putting his hands up and absorbing a lot of shots. Even though I felt like Lara won the fight, he barely scraped by. And it was ultimately a draw because Lara didn't do enough. He was very inactive. He threw 5 punches I believe in the third round. That's unacceptable for a top-level boxer, a boxer that's supposed to be considered elite and in his best. And, if you look at the Charlo brothers, these guys are approaching 30. So even at this point in your career, these guys don't have a lot of room for development. These guys are not 21 and 22 just getting started. These guys are experienced fighters who need to make vast improvements now because they're sitting on the cusp of either going up or down. So at this point, their career hangs in the balance. A Jermall Charlo really needs a better trainer than a Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields has not done enough at this point to prove that he can transform a fighter and take him to the next level. I think he did a very poor job with Erislandy Lara in his most recent fight, and I think he did a very poor job with Jermall Charlo in his fight against Matt Korobov. I truly feel like he needs a change of a trainer. If you look at Jermall Charlo and his trainer in Derek James, the same trainer as Errol Spence Jr., when he was caught in that Austin Trout fight with Derek James was just shouting the same instructions that he was shouting in the same fight against his most recent fight against Tony Harrison. Go after him, go get him, not giving him specific instruction or not training him in sparring the right way on how to cut off the ring, how to attack Tony Harrison, because going into that fight, you had to know that Tony Harrison was going to run for dear life. He was going to move. He was not going to sit in the pocket and make it easy for you to hit him. You had to know all these things in advance. And so since you knew all these things in advance as a trainer and as a team, why would you still have this huge issue that you can't overcome because he was not prepared in sparring? There's something that Derek James and the whole Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo training camp always say, iron sharpen iron. And I never liked that statement. The reason why is because I think that you need to prepare for the opponent that you have in front of you, not just trying to be the biggest and strongest guy. And so that makes no sense. You need to prepare for certain guys when they're elusive. You need to prepare for certain guys when they're fast. You need to prepare for different things that you're going to see in the ring and that you may see on the night of the fight. He came to that fight unprepared and was exposed and lost his belt. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.